Hello, cats and kittens. Mama Cat Gamer here. We are continuing our journey through Eorzea. We're nearing the end of our Heavensward post-patch, or patch quests into Stormblood. I think we only have like 2 or 3 to go, so I think we will be making it into the Stormblood expansion today. So let's get to it. We need to turn some of these quests in. Maker's Quarters, speak with light fixed, eyes fixed. So let's go to checking my Wondrous Tales to see what we need to do. Let's go to Eorzea. One more night in Amdapur. Let's pick that up while we're here. All right, East Sumiyan requires your assistance in a matter he has thought long since put to rest. Full glad am I of your presence, Cav. Twelveswood has need of your unyielding courage once more. Following your deeds in the lost city of Amdapur, we had thought the darkness lifted, its haunted halls freed from nightmare. Thus did we enter the ruins, the elementals at our side, intent upon returning the decaying edifice to the forest. Only for our immortal companions to withdraw without warning. From their agitated whisperings, we later gleaned that an entity of daunting power yet lingers within the bowels of the city. And until this being is put down, the elementals appear loath to return. I pray you visit Rhea Osena, where she awaits at Camp Tranquil, and answer her plea for assistance. Okay. Let's do that. Ah, the intrepid adventurer who braved the darkness of the lost city. To no other would I entrust this task. Lest you wonder, I do not doubt your success in expunging the darkness which took root in the ruins before. The heart of that evil was excised without question. But it would seem that some other power lay dormant beneath the stones all the while, its presence invisible to our senses. Plainly, however, that power is not very much awake. The elementals' panic attests to that. Quieting them will be no small task. While my fellows and I endeavor to persuade the elementals to rejoin us, I would have you venture into the city once more. Find the source of this new disturbance and do what must be done. The wood whaler Alphine yet stands guard at the gate. I dare say he has not forgotten you. Ask and he will let you pass. I need to find out what this music is. It's so beautiful. Oop. When I heard about the new trouble in the lost city, I thought you might be back. Not one to leave a job half finished, eh? Where you're stepping there, aught fit to frighten an elemental is not to be taken lightly. Be you favored of the seed seers or not. Alright, we've updated that. First rule of Gabi Watchguard, keep steady nerves at all times. Second rule of Gabi Watchguard, if danger comes Gabi, ignore first rule and make speedy feet. Okay. First rule. Have steady nerves at all times. Second rule, if danger comes, ignore the first rule and run away. Lightkick stands guard over Giant of Worthicogs. None shall pass. None shall pass. None shall pass. A reference to Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Thanks to the poetical outpourings of the Wandering Minstrel, you can now relive your foray into Midas. Alright, we've unlocked Savage Mode there. Yugiri says, "Even now I am astonished by how closely Mistress Alisaie resembles Master Alphino. Their very mannerisms are alike. From a distance, I should be hard-pressed to tell one from the other. Until they open their mouths, of course." Personalities are very different. Welcome back, Cav. I don't know about you, but I'm heartily glad that all of the talking is over. I understand that these council meetings are important. Do you not find it tiresome to have to weigh every word before you speak it? I doubt I will ever feel at home in the realm of politics. That said, people have been known to change, and if my brother is willing to run his own errands, anything is possible. Let's see, Heavenly Eggnog. None of these I really need, so I'll take the elegant silver piece. Griffin on the wall. Another brick. Guess I don't know. Alisaie seems eager to discuss the council's decision with the other scions. Well, as much as I enjoy the bustle of the toll, I think it's time we headed inside. My brother and the others will not be long. Y'shtola says, you are returned from the council. But what of Alphino? Did some other matter require his attention? Alphino, mine apologies, friends. I trust we have not kept you waiting over long. Ida says, greetings, everyone. Oh, Kryl, how's Nago doing? She will be all right, won't she? Kryl says, I don't see why not. She's sleeping at the moment. Tataru is keeping an eye on her, so we'll know soon enough if there's any change in her condition. Y'shtola says, her wounds are healing well. With sufficient rest, I'm certain she will make a full recovery. Thank goodness for that. Y'shtola says, now, mayhap you would share with us the council's decision. Alisaie says, each of the nations, Ishgard included, has committed to providing military support to Gridania. The Eorzean alliance will soon have a significant force in the Black Shroud, ready to respond to any Imperial act of aggression. Ida says, you know, I almost wish the council would stop messing around and give the Griffin what he wants. I wouldn't like to be the Imperial caught between the Resistance and the Alliance. Papalimo says, Ida, you cannot seriously. One does not lightly go to war with the Garlean Empire. Alphino says, quite. To open hostilities without due consideration would be to invite disaster. Oh, if only there were some way to reach the Griffin, some means to convince him to abandon this reckless course. It may not be entirely unfeasible. There is a network of tunnels beneath Baelsar's wall, secret passages dug by the Resistance to provide a way out of Alamigo. Y'shtola said, which may equally serve as a way in. Precisely. If all are in agreement, I would be the one to undertake the necessary negotiations. I am familiar with the route, and the Resistance is familiar with me. Ida says, about as familiar as they are with me, you mean? Say what you want. I'm coming too. Yugiri says, I have some experience in the practice of infiltration. If you would have me, my services are at your disposal. Tangra says, as are mine. It has been far too long since I shared a shadow with a shinobi, and I do not intend to waste the opportunity. Y'shtola says, 4 is quite sufficient for an infiltration mission. Greater numbers will only serve to increase the risk of detection. Kryl and I will direct our energies elsewhere. What of you, Levailleurs? Alphino says, I will return to the East Shroud and stand watch over the border. Should matters take a turn for the worse, 'twould seem wise to be on hand. Might I prevail upon you to accompany me, Gav? Gridania will be safer for your presence, and, while it may not seem the most thrilling duty, dear sister, might I ask that you remain in the Rising Stones to pass on messages and so on? To hold the fort, you mean? Very well, I suppose the task must fall to someone. Safe travels, all of you. Does Flamine have anything new to say? Tataru and Kryle took that resistance fighter to more private chambers that she might recuperate in peace. The poor girl was in quite a state, wasn't she? I think they don't have anything new to say, so... Well, maybe these guys do, though. Ida. All I'm saying is that it wouldn't be the worst thing if we ended up joining the Griffins' fight against the Empire. I mean, it's going to happen sooner or later, isn't it? Epilemo says, I may perhaps have exaggerated my standing with the Resistance a little, but I am confident that I have a reasonable chance of putting a stop to this madness before events spiral out of control. Yes, fair to middling at the very least. Yugiri says, my fellow shinobi required little encouragement to take their place amongst the Alliance forces amassing in Gridania. They are most eager to cross blades with the armies of Garlemald once more. Tancred. I am no ninja, but I did spend some few moons in the Sharlayan homeland learning how to move unseen. Between Yugiri and my humble self, Ida and Papalymo will be well protected. Well, good. I suspect Tataru would have little trouble facilitating communication between our forces under normal circumstances, but I concede she has her hands full nursing that resistance fighter back to health. No matter, my turn in the field will come. If you have any unfinished business in the toll, pray attend to it now. I would depart for the Hawthorn Hut without delay. The nearby watchtower offers an unobstructed view of Baelsar's wall, and I should be interested to speak to the Alliance commanders who have installed themselves at its top. Okay. Let's go. Ah, Kev, there you are. Come, Amarise's spire waits. The Alliance officers on the platform should be able to apprise us of any developments at the wall. Thancred, fancy meeting the two of you here. We're about to set forth. Elfino, indeed, I was about to say 12 watch over you, but I doubt you have need of divine protection, even if you are venturing into enemy territory. Ida says, don't worry, Alfino. We'll have the griffin by the scruff of the neck before you know it. Papalymo says, do make up your mind, Ida. Nary a moment ago you seemed ready to shake the griffin by the hand rather than the neck. So, which is it to be? It would be best to decide before we enter into negotiations. Ida says, trust me, Papalymo. I'll shake whatever needs shaking. The talking part I leave to you. I think I feel a headache coming on. Let's be on our way, shall we? Some things never change. Well then, shall we make for the spire? Our Alliance friends will doubtless have news for us. Maximilwa. Okay. Out of all the watchtowers manned by the wood whalers in God's quiver, Amarise's spire here is the newest. Cast your eyes to the south. You see that fortress? That's why we're here. Keep an eye on the comings and goings of the Empire curs. Okay. Welcome, Warrior of Light. I assume you're here to speak with our commanding officers. You'll find them on the observation platform. Pray, proceed. Greetings, my friends. 'Tis good to see you both well, says Pippin. Hilda says, I was hoping you might turn up. I've dragged half the watch here, see, and the sight of you might help remind him why we bothered. Rashat Riki, if memory serves, I have not seen many of this many. Well, let's see. If memory serves, I have not seen many of you since the day of the grand melee. Having borne the brunt of your blows, may I say what an honor it is to stand at your side. Elfino says, "'Tis heartening indeed to see the realm's most stalwart defenders thus gathered in common cause. Speaking of which, what news from the wall?" Eorzea, All has been quiet. Famous last words, right? Report. What? 7 hells. Fighting has broken out on top of the wall. A full-scale assault. Pippin says, so, the Griffin has made his move. Eorzea says, someone has. And Hilda says, and what's that supposed to mean? The attackers, they're wearing Grand Company colors. Impossible! We gave no such order. Alphino says, of course, the wall was never the Griffin's target. It was bait. We have been goaded into deploying our armies nearby, thus lending weight to this deception. Eorzea says, if those uniforms were convincing enough to deceive my scouts, the Empire will surely think we've launched an offensive. This could mean war. Even so, this may be no more than a diversion. With the armies of the Alliance occupying the Empire's attention, it would be comparatively easy for the Griffin's supporters to slip into Alamigo. He could then incite a rebellion amongst the populace, which the Imperial reserves would be hard-pressed to contain. Eorzea, meanwhile, would be plunged into chaos. Yeah, we must make for the wall at once. Pippin. What? Just the 2 of you? Alphino says, our companions embarked on a mission to sway the Griffin from his course, and are likely halfway to his command post by now. They will emerge in the midst of a raging battle, and I do not mean to abandon them to their fate. It will be dangerous, aye, but the confusion may work to our advantage. If we are careful to avoid the skirmishing, it may yet be possible to reach the Griffin. And if we can do that... Lady Hilda, might I ask that you have an airship ready to bear the Scions to safety? Ha! I don't know who this Lady Hilda is, Marshal, but you can count on me. Rashad Riki says, we must prepare for Imperial reprisals. May the Navigator guide us through the storm. Not good at all. Forward, comrades! The time has come to drive the Empire from Alamigo and force action upon those who have turned their backs to our suffering for so long. Let this victory be the first step in the liberation of our homeland. Alamigo will be free, no matter the cost. Speak with Alphino. Griffin on the wall. Serpent Scout. Sir, as per Marshal Terrapin's orders, we will provide a feint to cover your advance. May the crystal light your way forward. Alphino says, from what Papalima told me, the trail ahead should lead us into the shadow of the wall. As we have 2 objectives, I suggest we divide our forces. I shall make straightaways for the tunnels and attempt to intercept their comrades ere they stumble into a bloodbath. While I do so, I must ask that you scale the wall. Know that I would not propose such a course if there were any other way, but the time for subtlety is past. Take a band of your most trusted companions and cut a path through to the Griffin. Make him see reason, by any means necessary. Once we are free of the tunnels, we will make for your position with all due haste, and if everything proceeds according to plan, Hilda will then swoop in and spirit us all away to safety. I only pray that we have enough time. That's what I'm actually going to do with other players. All right, here we go. bard lives for these mass enemy situations, man. Dot these all up. And then we're gonna get out of that. Do not want to be in there. Oh wait, there's more. I hate magic claws. Yeah, let's watch him on the metal. Real nice. But wait, there's even more. Okay. At least they space them out long enough for my songs to recharge. Oh yeah, baby. Watching the timer on that to know when to stop moving. lag spike there. Yeah. Of course. You won't escape us this time.
How'd you like these? Sloppy. I'll tear you limb from limb. Yeah. Sloppy. For Alamigo! I have you now. Yeah. How'd you like these?
Ah.
Yeah!
Hit with that flash powder.
Sloppy. Yeah.
Gotta kill the restraint collar.
Yeah. Yeah. Sloppy.
Hey. That's a Gav with a ticked off face there. No joy there, man. They lifted to hurry.
You've beaten me, aye. But you cannot stop what I've begun. Behold, a glimpse of things to come. We did it! We showed the bastards! Aye! Victory is ours!
And who knows, lads? Mayhap the Eorzeans will finally see sense when the enemy turns up on their bloody doorstep.
This is for our amigo, for Eorzea. They die that others may live.
Ah, Laurentius.
Vanguards! Attack!
Seven hells. Do you hear that?
War machines. How did they get here so quickly?
Stand your ground! For the resistance!
There's nowhere to run. We're cut off.
Gods help us! What were we thinking? The Empire's too big. Too powerful. Mighty Rolger. Grant us the strength to crush our...
There you are! As you can see, our infiltrators did not elude me for long. Lady Ugiri is sending for an airship even as we speak.
What do we do? This is a massacre!
How wonderful to see you, Commander.
Illbird. I should have known. This has to end. It has to end now. Do you not see your countrymen dying? Have your ideals rendered you blind even to that? Order the retreat, and we will help your soldiers to safety.
Retreat? With the moment of my triumph so close at hand? You truly are a sheltered child, Leverrier.
Nidhogg's eyes. No abyss is too deep for you, I see. But trust me when I say that such power was not meant for mortal hands.
How long have I struggled to reach this point? My countrymen, so inured to the taste of defeat, they no longer balk at its bitterness, shouting my throat raw with rallying cries, only to be greeted with dull eyes and blank faces. My brothers and sisters in Ulda have surrendered to their apathy and their appetites. Were it not for the glint of Lodorito's coin, I doubt even those here now would have answered my call. Take back our homeland! Free Al Amigo! Ha! They'll happily mouth the words, but they won't spill the blood. You say no mortal should wield these eyes? Then I shall gladly become a demon. I will suckle on the souls of the hopeless and liberate the homeland they no longer deserve.
What exactly do you mean to do?
Did you hear their cries as victory was snatched away from them? Even with their dying breaths, they cursed the Empire. Never has their desire for vengeance been so raw, so true. A god has no need of faith when summoned by so pure a purpose.
Summoned? You cannot mean to fight the Empire with a primal! You know full well the danger, the futility of relying on such power!
Oh yes, I know their limitations. Which is why I will call upon a deity more terrible than the very black worm of the calamity itself.
What? Here? Now?
Like hells you will!
An ending to mark a new beginning. My pain, my longing, you shall have it all!
This light, is it...
His death completed the ritual. The primal is taking shape.
Well, can't we stop it? There must be something we can do!
There is one thing.
What? Hey! Where do you think you're going?
Master Louisoix briefly contained Bahamut by means of a potent spell of sealing. I will now attempt to do the same.
But that's impossible! We would need hours to collect the necessary ether, if not days!
Ah, Alphino, though I concede it may not always be apparent, I was ever your grandsire's finest pupil.
Tiptimati, of course! The staff still holds enormous power, broken or not.
Don't you dare, Papalymo! I know how that spell works. It is time to leave.
Quite right. Quickly now, off you go. The further away, the better.
No! If you're staying, then so am I.
No, Ida. There is a path only you can walk, and it must not end here. Not like this. Take her! Please, you have to take her!
What? No! Damn it, Thancred! Put me down! Thancred!
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you! Go!
Hilda! I think he means now!
I bid thee farewell again, my dear Ida. Now, let us see how good a student I truly was.
I had to take a quick break after that that whole scene. It's so emotional. And so I had to grab dinner too because pizza came while we were in the middle of that last dungeon. So the hubby was talking about how he did a random roll for a character in D&D 24 rules and rolled 2 16s, 2 15s, and 2 13s for scores. And he said, it's player-centric. Elfino, how many more must we lose? Eorzea, I understand only too well the desire to reclaim one's homeland, but I cannot condone such slaughter. Pippin, it has been explained to me what that light represents, and I have ordered our forces to stand ready. It seems we can do little else but wait. Hilda says, every Ishgardian gets taught that the Sea of Cloud churns in the grip of the warring elements of water and wind. Enough to tear you apart, they say. No one's ever gone to the bottom of the abyss and lived to tell the tale. So how did that bastard manage to get his hands on Nidhogg's eyes? Good question. I don't think we'll ever have an answer, though. Hepalimo knew what he was doing. I could not refuse him. He just says, why? Why didn't they let me stay? Papalymo is my friend. I should have been there with him. Thancred says, "You could see it in his eyes, Ida. He knew what he was doing, what had to be done." Esther Louisoix wore that same look right before the end. Ida says, "Do you think I don't know that? I know, all right. I know." There's nothing more you could have done. Ilberd caught us all off guard. Even Gav was powerless to stop him. If you must blame someone, then blame me. Just promise me that you will never forget what Papalymo strove to protect, or the lessons he tried to teach you. Don't speak to me. Ingrid says, "Leave Ida with me. Go on. Go back to the Rising Stones. The others need to know what happened here." It's over, Papalymo. It's all over. Thancred says, "Leave her be. Nothing you could say will console her now." It is plain that recent events have shaken Elfino to the core. Once again, I find myself at a loss for words. But Thancred is right. We must return to the Rising Stones and apprise our companions of all of this. Pray, make your way there at once. I will send word to Y'shtola and the others of our imminent return. Taru. Why does everyone look so grim? Has something happened? Say something for heaven's sake. Eorzea says, "'Twould seem you bring ill tidings, brother." Elfino says, "Aye. Behind the griffin's mask, we found the grinning face of an old adversary, Ilberd. I know not how, but he had in his possession the eyes of Nidhogg, whose dread power he used to initiate a summoning ritual, even as we looked on. By the 12, said Y'shtola. Eorzea says, I don't understand. To attempt such magic requires every ounce of one's ether. No one, not even grandfather, could cast it and hope to survive. Elfino says, "Indeed, it was ever a last resort, as I'm sure Papalymo was aware." Eorzea said, "Thus did the pupil follow in the footsteps of his master, even unto the grave." Elfino says, "I have as yet been unable to explain how Ilberd came to possess Nidhogg's eyes. In the depths of the Sea of Clouds, a perpetual storm of water and wind aspected ether rages. No mortal could endure such conditions." Y'shtola says, "Then mayhap it was the work of an Ascian, but now is not the time for idle speculation. Cryo, I have need of your assistance." Cryo says, Yes, of course." Y'shtola says, "We must inspect the cocoon of light and ascertain the state of the primal trapped within. Between our respective talents, I dare say we shall glean some measure of insight." Cryo says, "Understood. I can't promise I'll be able to sense much through the barrier, but I shall certainly do my best." Y'shtola, "As shall I. Let us be about it then." Eorzea, "What? Without so much as a by your leave?" Eorzea says, "Pray, forgive Archon Y'shtola her brevity. She seeketh employment, lest her grief deprive her of the will to act. A desire to comfort Ida doubtless compoundeth her unseemly haste. I, too, must contend with this grievous loss in mine own way. By thy leave, Lady Alisaie, I shall honor our fallen colleague through gainful study. There exist writings which may yet further our understanding of this cocoon of light. Ellie says, mayhap I was too quick to judge. Surrendering to sadness and regret may be a poor tribute to Papalymo's sacrifice. Elfino says, quite. We must begin preparations to face Ilberd's accursed creation without delay. What time we have was purchased at too dear a price for us to squander it. Elfino says, mine own grief is as a crushing weight upon my heart, and when I think of what Ida must be feeling, Papalymo's sacrifice cannot be in vain. We will find the means to deal with this primal. All I want to do is weep, but right now we need to hold back the tears and do what must be done. Once Ida returns, I'll see that she sits down to her favorite dish. When you feel empty inside, it is easy to forget that your belly needs to be filled. Sacrificing oneself for one's duty. Such actions remind me of the warriors of Doma, of the samurai and shinobi who died for our cause. They told us what happened with Papalymo and I. Forgive me, there are simply no words. Ori Boulder, Kultene greatly admired Papalymo and aspired to achieve the same lofty heights of magecraft. His loss was a terrible blow to the Scions. Clemens says, as much as we wish it were different, there is a limit to what our healing can accomplish. Even the most powerful magics can do naught for a grieving heart. Aenor says, I have a long road ahead before I match the Archons in skill and experience, but we must all do our part in times like this. Surely there is something I can do to help. Okay. My brother may wrap himself in steel, but he is a man of tender heart. Witness his concern for the pain his dear friend endures. The interminable wait for news from Gridania seems to be taking its toll on Alisaie. Ah, Gav, I wish I had more to tell you, but the situation in the East Shroud remains largely unchanged, meaning we still have no idea how long it will be before... Communication from the Alliance. One moment. Yes, of course. Our representatives will be present. My thanks. Word from Gridania. The Council will shortly be reconvened. The Alliance leaders have already begun to assemble. Alfino says, they wish to discuss the primal, of course. As of Ystola's last report, the cocoon yet hung above the wall, unchanged. Alisaie says, yes, but the Elder Seedseer doubtless shares our concerns about how long it will remain so. I'm told that Sid Garland has been called in to add his expertise to proceedings. Alfino says, a wise decision. The more minds we have working on this, the better. Well then, I suggest we leave the Rising Stones into Taru's capable hands and make haste for the Lotus Stand.
A word, if you would, good sir. This place. it is within the realm of Eorzea.
You're an odd-looking fellow, aren't you? Still, takes all sorts, I suppose. This here's Vesper Bay. Thanalan's door to the ocean, as some folk like to call it.
Am I to understand from your answer that I have indeed arrived in Eorzea?
Eh? Yes? You're in Eorzea?
Ah! A plain response at last, and the one I wanted at that. My journey was not without its hardships, and I would sooner travel by land than put to sea again. You do not believe that so small a bark could bear me across the ocean? Such timid little sailors. I had but to set my course and set my jaw till I made port. Though, it would perhaps have been wise to lay down my oars a moment to sup on more than the spray of brine water. By the trembling of my limbs, I sense a brief repast may be in order. Nay, I will not hearken to the feeble grumblings of an empty belly. Duty comes before all.
Oh my.
God, man, are you all right?
Thou art far indeed from home, friend.
Speak with a silent conjurer at Nafika's. I want to see if Tataru has anything else to say. Let's see here. Ryle's report needs to be filed. Alian has requested additional supplies, and then there's... Oh, don't mind me. Everything's under control. Flamine says, Hoary Boulder and his companions left to continue reconnaissance on the beast tribes. They were adamant about shouldering what burdens they could while the senior Synons were occupied with this cocoon emergency. The determination upon their faces. There's nothing more blinding than youth burning with purpose. Yeah. In both senses of the word. Let's go talk to Silent Conjurer. Welcome, Warrior of Light. This way, if you please.
Dear friends, pray accept my heartfelt thanks for your efforts in defense of Gridania's borders. I would fain dwell longer on my gratitude for the support of the Alliance, but the situation at Baelsar's wall demands that we forego such pleasantries.
According to our most recent intelligence, the cocoon of light that formed in the air above the wall remains undimmed and unbroken. After measuring the cocoon's etheric concentrations, Archon Y'shtola has confirmed the presence of a primal entity.
So we must assume that Ilbird's thrice damned god is indeed trapped within. And what news of the Imperials? They're not like to ignore such a spectacle.
Sir, a Garlean airship was observed making an approach, but the vessel was destroyed when it drew near. The Empire appears to have made no subsequent attempts to reach the object.
The soldiers who witnessed the incident spoke of a lance of light issuing from within the cocoon. Of an entire warship being reduced to smoking ruin in the space of a moment. Veterans of Cartano, meanwhile, likened the destruction to that wrought by the fiery wrath of Bahamut.
We could face another calamity.
So the Primal is awake then? Contained, yes, but for how long? We must destroy it now, lest it break free.
Agreed. There is, however, the small matter of how to get close enough to a being that swats warships from the sky as you would a bothersome gnat.
Is this truly so complex a puzzle? Or have you no stomach for the obvious solution?
What in the hells are you doing here?
A pleasure to see you too, Garland. Now, if you'd be so kind as to explain to these good people why you should be begging me for my assistance, that would be most appreciated.
Nero.
Who is this man?
Oh, how terrifically rude of me. Nero Tolskeva, former tribunus of the 14th Legion of the Garlean Empire. These days, however, one might say that I'm something of a free agent.
What do you want, Nero?
I was getting to that. Although you already know what I'm about to propose, old friend. As you have rather belatedly realized, within that frail binding lurks an entity alike in strength to the great Bahamut, and the only force in existence which might conceivably contend with such a foe is the very creation which captured the Elder Primal in the first place. I speak, of course, of Omega.
Omega?
Shit-eating grin.
That hulk has been gathering dust beneath the plains of Cartano since the Allagans breathed their last. And none alive knows how to wake it.
I'm sorry. Do you understand who it is with whom you have the privilege of speaking? I'm Nero Tolskeva, Master Engineer. The mechanical genius who restored the Ultima weapon to full operational capacity. And as luck would have it, I am graciously offering you the use of my considerable expertise.
And what, you just expect us to accept? You're a fool if you think your deeds at the Crystal Tower are enough to win my trust, Nero.
Trust? You wound me, Garland. All those years studying side by side at the Academy, sharing both trial and triumph, we were countrymen once, you and I. But sentiment aside, have you a better solution? Or do you mean to send in your vaunted hero there, as you always do, and pray the world is not engulfed in flame? Let us approach the problem in a rational manner. Does not the fact that Omega slumbers in stasis point to the existence of some overriding technology? A means of control?
I would ask a question, if I may. Nero, was it not? In the event that we succeeded in using Omega to shackle the Primal in the manner you propose, what then would become of it? Do we not risk repeating the mistakes of the Allagans?
Omega is but a tool. How we choose to employ that tool is entirely up to us. Of course, if you would rather leave it buried beneath Cartano while you continue your petty squabbles above, then I suppose that is also your choice.
Spare us, Nero. The Seedseer's concern is a valid one. He who controls Omega wields the power of the gods, the very power which led the Allagans to destroy themselves.
And does it not fall to we engineers to prevent such misuse? What was your company's proud slogan? Freedom through technology?
A creed you follow, is it? What say you? Do we take this villain at his word?
You could say he makes a convincing case, or no, but I'll keep an eye on him. Do that one.
As will I. I don't like it, but then it doesn't look like we have much choice. Would the Council be willing to entrust this matter to a pair of former Imperials?
Yes. The task of restoring the Allagan relic will be yours. But the responsibility for its reawakening must remain with the Council. Do we condone this course of action?
Aye. 'Twould seem we do. Let the record show that we invest this contingent with the authority to enter Cartano and take command of Omega. Sid, I appoint you leader of the expedition. Scions, I would ask that you assign some few of your number to escort Master Garland and supervise the other one.
Can't even say his name.
We should be happy to oblige. The politics of Cartano being what they are, I dare say our neutrality will prove useful in avoiding any unnecessary entanglements.
If I am not mistaken, Doma occupies a similarly neutral position. Might we not persuade you to join the expedition, Lady Yugiri? If you suspected any foul play from Nero, you would be welcome to kill him.
There's no in between there. He's either alive or we kill him, you know. No, just, knock him out. Maybe slice an Achilles tendon. No, we just go from 0 to kill. I love it.
My blade is yours.
Not a moment's hesitation, eh? You'll forgive me if I do not shake your hand.
Well, that was a rather unexpected development, and one which raises a number of questions, not least among them how Nero chanced to learn of the council meeting in the first place. It's not that hard when you follow the staff who follow them. Elfino is eager to join Sid and the others. Sid and the others are assembling at the airship landing. Eorzea is already on her way. It would not do to lag too far behind. Let us be off. Where is everyone? Gav, Elfino, ready to go? The others have stepped out onto the landing for a moment, lest you wonder. Nero insisted that he be allowed to inspect the Excelsior before boarding. Elfino says, and you let him? Despite his very timely offer of assistance, the thought of that man poking about in the workings of the ship without proper supervision does not fill me with confidence. Sid says, calm yourself, Elfino. Your sister was adamant that he would never leave her sight. She and Yugiri are... Ah, well, here they are now. Right, I think that's everyone. Shall I set course for Cartano? Elfino, might I ask that we delay our departure slightly? I require no more than a few hours at most. Our colleagues are studying the cocoon even as we speak, and I would hear their latest observation ere we proceed. It would seem wise to gain as clear an understanding of the situation as possible before formulating our plan. Nero says, oh, I thought time was against us. How foolish of me. Eorzea says, hold your tongue. When we want your opinion, we'll ask for it. Forgive me, my lady. I shall keep my counsel until such time as you have finished procrastinating. Sid says, all right. While Elfino speaks with his colleagues, I shall fly the Excelsior over to Mordona and we can reconvene at the Rising Stones. Elfino says, mine apologies for the trouble. I shall visit Y'shtola and the others forthwith, and join you as soon as I am able. Yev, pray accompany Eorzea back to the Rising Stones. I should feel safer knowing you are present to entertain our guest. Sid says, right. Everyone heading to Mordona is welcome to travel aboard the Excelsior. I'll clear things with the girl at the counter here. Let her know when you're ready to leave. You're traveling with Master Garland, sir. The Enterprise Excelsior is right this way. Oh yeah, travel to Mordona. What manner of airship has no private cabins? Then again, I suppose Garland had to find somewhere to stow his half-baked inventions. Yugiri, I do not care for that man. Eorzea. Strange though it may seem, Nero's former loyalties do not trouble me, but I can see why people are loath to lower their guard around him. Not quite a door-to-door service, but I couldn't exactly land her in the Toll's main square. Shall we adjourn to the Rising Stones, then? Yugiri says, fear not, I shall keep a close eye on our new ally. Tataru, I know Nero's a guest here, but we don't exactly have the happiest history with the Empire, do we? So my question to you is, do I offer him tea? So that's our chief concern. He's our enemy, but do I offer tea? What's the protocol here? Eorzea says, one was created to capture Bahamut and the other to surpass him. Which will prove the stronger, I suppose? I wonder. You must be careful, old friend. The walking weapons of Alag were expressly designed to subdue primals, but men like Gaius will always seek to use them against mankind. It falls to us to ensure that Omega is never employed as a weapon of war. In the wrong hands, it would be. It would be bad. Alright, they don't have anything new.
So these are the fabled headquarters of the Scions. I confess I would have expected an order of self-proclaimed warrior scholars to surround themselves with the fruits of man's enlightenment. And yet there's not so much as a single piece of magitech in sight. It never ceases to amaze me how primitive you Eorzeans truly are.
Oh, I'll have you know that the Rising Stones is home to the very latest in magitech innovation. Wedge calls it the Mark 14 Thermocoil Boil Master, and it's the finest kettle I've ever had the pleasure to own.
It's a Magitech tea kettle. Yours going, are you serious?
We are returned. Well, Ida and I, at least. Ishtola and the others remain behind to continue their assessment of the binding magic.
There didn't seem much point staying just for that, so I decided to come back with Alphino. Papalimo bought us this time. We shouldn't waste it.
By your leave!
Good God, that voice could fell a gigas.
She's not wrong.
This is the Rising Stones, domicile of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I enter at the invitation of one Lord Eorzea. I spy you there, Shadow Walker. You always were a hard one to find.
Yugiri, do you know this man?
Gosetsu, why are you come to Eorzea?
In search of you, Yugiri. For days and nights did I row across the angry sea. I made port in good spirits, only for my own flesh to betray me over the trifling matter of an empty belly. Collapsed in the street like an unfed stray I was, until Lord Eorzea came to my aid. Over a most welcome meal, we spoke of the plight of Doma, and I learned of our displaced countrymen's work to resettle this blighted land. 'Twas blind fortune that I was able to locate you so swiftly. But now we must make ready to depart. Our master languishes in dire peril, and Doma calls her daughter home.
It is not so simple, Gosetsu. There are obligations which bind me here.
You refuse? Did you mislay your oath during your flight from our homeland? The laws of hospitality must be honored, but surely the vow to defend your master demands the greater obeisance.
It was our master who bid me guide our people to safe haven by any means necessary. And it was the scions you see before you who provided us succor and sanctuary when all others refused. Dire peril or no, were I to return without first repaying such hospitality, our master would cut me down at the threshold.
Mayhap that is so.
There is more. A crisis threatens all within this realm, Eorzean and Doman alike, and I go to play my part in its resolution. I will not bring shame upon our liege by abandoning my people or my duty.
How very noble of you. Now, in the name of honor, kinship, and, yes, practicality, might I suggest we get this expedition underway? Or would you rather debate the finer points of duty and leave Omega to the Empire?
The Empire? Yugiri, you draw steel against the curse of Garlemald? Then why did you not say so? My blade is oath-bound to fall upon the ranks of the Imperials wheresoever they march. Lead on, Shadow Walker, and may the enemy tremble at our coming.
Nice. Gav, wait. Could I speak to you for a moment? Do you remember when I had you meet me at the Diamond Forge and we, ambushed you? Well, once we had your measurements, I set to work making you a traveling outfit in my spare time. I've only just this moment finished stitching, but I wanted you to have it before you left. Here. You could try it on right now if you like. Oh, that actually looks pretty good. Assuming we measured correctly, the fit should be just right. Snug, but not too snug, if you know what I mean. So, how does it feel? You're not just saying that, are you? Oh, I can't tell you how much this means to me. To have crafted something worthy of the Warrior of Light is... Well, let's just say it makes all the practice worthwhile. I also sewed in a blood pearl charm to, you know, bring you home. May it always protect you. Aw. That's sweet. This is really nice. Dyed, but I didn't know it had a second dye channel. Oh, you can dye the tie. That's kind of cool. Oh, and it dyes in back too. You know, I kind of like it in that default gray. Elfino says, just the 2 unexpected guests then. Still, I suspect that each will prove useful in his own way. Tataru says, how dare he mock the Scions like that? If I ever had to sew a set of traveling clothes for him, I just might forget to take out the pins. If you've ever been stuck by a pin when you're trying on clothes you've sewn, not very fun. Yugiri said, never did I think to hear Gosetsu's voice echo through these halls. Gosetsu says, my blade shall carve a path through the Empire's ranks as a scythe fells stalks of wheat. Eorzea says, truly I had no idea Domans could be so loud. He and Yugiri could hardly be more different. Nero, the Mark 14 Thermocoil Boilmaster? Dear me, how risible must the previous 13 iterations have been. I could design a more efficient water heater in the time it took that ill-conceived lump to become lukewarm. Oh, I think he's going to fit right in. Ida. Ida's eyes shine with rekindled determination. So we have to wake Omega up, right? Where do we start? Or when do we start? Ida, are you sure that's... I'm sure, yes. I won't lie and say I'm completely fine, but I'll feel a lot better if I'm doing something useful. Eorzea says, very well. I will remain here and continue coordinating our efforts with the Alliance. Elfino, mayhap you could return to Gridania and assist Y'shtola and Kryl? Elfino says, a fine suggestion. Sid says, the rest of us will form the Cartano expedition party. Nero and I will focus on rousing Omega, while Gav, Ida, and our Doman friends take care of security. The Excelsior is by the lake, just outside town. We leave as soon as everyone is ready. Want to see if they have anything else to say. Eorzea says, "Go and save the realm, Gav. I have everything in hand here." The tower. "I do hope you like your new outfit. It may just be my finest creation. It is an excellent one." That's actually one of my favorite outfits. Hoary Boulder and his companions left to continue reconnaissance on the beach tribes. They were adamant about shouldering what burdens they could while the senior scions were occupied with this cocoon emergency. Alright, they didn't have anything new to say. Somebody asked me, "Girl, are you really doing Heavensward at level 90? LOL. That's too funny. I said, of course. Skip the trash mobs overland. Alright, speak with Sid and Mordona. Yugiri says, "Gosetsu is an accomplished swordsman. Should it come to battle, he will prove a staunch ally. Would that I could say the same for Nero." Soon, Omega, soon. I will see you rise again. Setsu. Will this contraption truly bear us through the skies? Ida. I was a bit lost for a while back there, but I'll be fine. Trust me. We haven't far to go. With any luck, we'll be in Cartno before Gosetsu graces the deck with his dinner. Once there, however, we had best be on our guard. Given that Eileen Royo was still active when Omega was discovered, we can be sure that the Empire has long been aware of its existence. And if Nero deemed it the obvious solution to the threat posed by the new Primal, it is not impossible that Garlemald might do the same. Have your weapons ready and your wits around you. Something tells me we're flying into a fight. I gotta eat food. I think I want to change to Reaper for this one. Alright, let's go.
Now, where was that? Ah! I've enabled the teleporter. One brief jump and we shall arrive in Omega's control room.
How convenient. You've been here before.
Of course. It was no easy task threading a path through all the skirmishers. But how could I ignore the existence of such a fascinating toy? You may trust that my preliminary examination was suitably thorough.
Trust? Aye. I trust your appetite for technology.
I chased down a suspect airship, and who should I find but the traitor, Sid Garland. Searching for something, engineer? Something big? It's close, isn't it? It's like all my name days have come at once.
For the scouts the Empire could have sent. Take care of that brute, will you?
God damn it. Can't let Nero tinker around in there by himself. I'm sorry to leave you to it, but I dare say you'll manage without me. This clod has no idea who he's dealing with.
I am Gosetsu, Samurai of Doma. You will rue your choice of opponent this day.
He's so over the top here. So we're gonna focus on Grimvlot. We want to face him away from the others.
It's Olenstein!
No moving back! The defense is lacking.
Look upon a samurai of Doma!
You don't have to worry about the ads. Your companions take care of it. Surrender. We have you outnumbered. Wouldn't be the first time, says Ida. We're gonna take a phone call in the middle of battle. Nero says, "Are you still playing with those soldiers? Ah, I suppose I can lend you one of my toys, but only if you promise to give it back." We know how to run this one. Behold the Red Baron. Of course. Now end this nonsense. This is a shit-eating grin. What the? No one told me they'd have Magitech armor. Forward for the Empire. As he runs away. The honorless cur thinks to abandon his men. I shall see that he shares their fate. Pray attend to the rest of his minions.
No retreat. No surrender.
Look Look upon a samurai of summer!
You watching heavily, though? Leave this to me.
I have you.
Oh, we have to focus the colossi.
No holding back. Your defense is lacking.
With soul and steel!
This will sting. It's all over now. No retreat. No surrender.
Look upon a samurai of summer!
Deserting a battle is punishable by death. I order you to stand your ground. Come back here now. Please? No, that's just embarrassing. Pitiful. Damn it all to the seventh hell. I'll kill you bastards. It's the last thing I have to do.
Leave this to me.
You just walk out of the corner, so. Got him up. Oh, get out of the fire, too. Let's get out of that. Ooh, that got me.
My defense is lacking.
Soul and steel!
You haven't seen the last of me. Mark my words. It'll be you who rules the day. Just runs off.
Temporal stasis disengaged. All systems operational. Garland?
All clear on this side. It's waking up.
Remarkable. Omega sensors immediately detected the presence of the cocoon, even at this distance. They must have been set to scan for sources of energy exceeding certain magnitudes.
I still don't see any means to control the machine directly. It seems to have been designed to act wholly autonomously. Once we release Omega, we can be fairly certain it will attempt to capture the Primal at Baelsar's wall. Assuming its mission is successful, our only option at that point will be to re-engage its stasis system and put it back to sleep.
And should the machine happen to misbehave, we'll simply initiate an emergency shutdown. I confess we don't yet have a complete grasp of its capabilities, but I'm certain the details will not elude us for long.
Well, I understood less than half of that. So, my question to you is, are we doing the right thing?
Is there any other way?
I suppose not. All right. Step aside, Sid. Is this the thing I need to press?
Yes, that's the one.
You gave too much for us to waste this chance, Papalimo. So this is for you. And me.
Yes! Fly free, my pretty! Show us what you can do.
The launch sequence has begun. Omega is loose.
That's cool.
Omega has stopped transmitting. But that shouldn't be. I didn't engage the stasis system.
And what does this signify? I have little understanding of these contrivances.
The launch went exactly to plan, but all signals emanating from Omega have ceased. This may indicate any number of things, but we will need to join the Scions out in the field if we are to ascertain which one.
Right. I've ordered a malfunctioning beast to go to sleep. That should prevent any unfortunate mishaps. I suggest we make our way back to Gridania.
Omega destroyed the cocoon. Papalimo's spell is fading. It was bound to his ether, you see. And if the connection is broken...
Speak with Sid in Omega Control. I'm not sure why we lost contact with Omega, but I mean to find out. Let's be on our way. Speak with Sid at the airship landing. Elfino. I came as soon as I heard the Excelsior had been spotted on its approach. One moment, everything was functioning perfectly, and the next it wasn't. It makes no sense. We need to see what happened for ourselves, and soon. Elfino looks like he has news for us. I almost dread to ask. Elfino has the look of a man with much to say at the far edge of fate. Words can ill express how glad I am to see you all unharmed. When Omega came hurtling towards the cocoon, everything dissolved into chaos. I have to see it. I have to see it with my own eyes. Ito, wait, we must first... The Elder Seedseer is expecting us. Worry not, Elfino. Gosetsu and I will watch over her. You may safely attend your meeting. My thanks, Yugiri. The council reconvened a short while ago. Let us make haste for the Lotus Stand. All there are eager to hear your testimony. The Elder Seedseer waits you within. Alright, let's go in. Ah, Merlvit. Another calamity averted, eh? How many times now have you and yours hauled us back from the brink? Rauban. 'Twould seem Garland's little friend was as good as his word. Emmerich. Had I not instructed you to throw Nidhogg's accursed eyes into the abyss, all of this might have been avoided. I thought them beyond reach. My friends, full eagerly have we awaited your return. Few indeed could have discharged the duty entrusted to you, and most humbly do we thank you for seeing it done. It says, "You're too kind, Elder Seedseer. As I recall, we as good as demanded the right to try. But tell me, how did the battle unfold? We succeeded in waking Omega, aye, but we lost contact with the weapons shortly after it launched. From our position in the control room, we were blind to all that followed." Merweb says, "What words could do justice to such a scene? None of my choosing, that much is certain, but I can give you the facts. The cocoon hatched even as Omega arrived, and from its midst rose a great dragon. The pair duly set about each other in the skies over Girabania." Emmerich says, "The primal's might defied belief. It seemed the very heavens could be rent asunder by the force of its blows, and it wields such magic as I have never seen, and hope never to see again." The battle raged on with no end in sight, until both combatants were engulfed in a blinding flash of light. When the radiance faded, I saw the pair fall motionless from the sky, coming to rest somewhere on Alamegan soil. I will not speak for the rest, but to my eye, it seemed that each had landed a fatal blow upon the other. Kane Senna says, "While most among us could think only of Bahamut when looking upon the primal's form, the Domans were heard to whisper the name Shinryu. It would appear that the being resembles a creature of Far Eastern legend, and we had found it convenient to refer to it as such. This Shinryu's fate, and indeed that of Omega, is yet unknown. We have, alas, no eyes on the Girabanian side of the border." Rauban says, "Aye, which is why we have sent our main force under the command of Marshal Terupin to capture the wall. With the Imperials in disarray, we have the perfect opportunity to secure Gridania's border and assess the aftermath of the impact. I myself will join the Marshal and his men when the council is adjourned." Sid says, "Well, that explains a few things. I'll wager that flash of light coincided with our loss of contact. Lest you wonder, we quickly re-engaged Omega's stasis systems, so even if it has fallen into the Empire's lap, it will be of no use to them, save perhaps as a statue." Nero says, "Correct. Without me to guide their efforts, it would take them decades to decipher Omega's core functions." Correct. Without me to guide their efforts, it would take them decades to decipher Omega's core functions, if they managed it at all. Kane Senna says, Such reassurances do much to calm our fears, yet the relic's fate is but one of several concerns." Emmerich says, "Indeed, I humbly submit that the time has come for us to make contact with the Resistance representatives in Girabania. Though Ilberd has forced our hand, it would seem only logical to seek an alliance, given the inevitability of Imperial retaliation. And by working in concert, it is not impossible that Alamigo might finally be wrested from Garlemald's grasp." Right, Sid says, "If, as seems likely, we put Omega into stasis after all, what did they call it? Ah, yes, after Shinryu was defeated, we would have little to fear from either one of them." Nero, "I should very much like to see the Shinryu creature for myself." Mervin, "When the primal emerged, I was for an instant transported back to Cartano, to the moment the black worm made an eighth hell of the battlefield. Gladly would I live out the rest of my days without seeing such a sight again." Oban, "I go to oversee operations at Baelsar's wall. You've done your part, leave us to handle the initial Imperial reprisal, and rest while you may." "Pray accept my humblest and most earnest thanks once again, Warrior of Light. Had Shinryu been suffered to roam free, the Twelveswood would surely have been laid waste." Emmerich, "This operation to take the wall will be Ishgard's first military action under Alliance banners. Though I have no appetite for bloodshed, a part of me is glad of the chance to begin reparations for our past inaction." Elfino says, "You must be exhausted. I would ordinarily suggest that we retire directly to the Rising Stones, but I wonder if we might first make a small detour. Y'shtola and the others have gathered at Amrise's spire, and I imagine that you too would be interested to see what has become of the wall now that now that the cocoon is gone. It is decided then. Lead on. Anything new? Speak with Y'shtola at Amarise's Spire. The Castamoriums to the south and Sylphlands to the north, we must remain vigilant for any signs of aggression. Every sentry that patrols the East Shroud knows well that we are surrounded by enemies at all times. Gozetsu says, only the curs of Garlemald would sully such beauty with that black iron monstrosity. Those animals respect nothing and no one. Yugiri says, Ida is there atop the spire. She's done naught but gaze silently at the wall for some time now. Elfino says, no trace of the cocoon remains. 'Tis as if it never existed. Kryl says, oh, thank the 12. After witnessing Omega's single-minded onslaught, I had visions of you being trapped between it and its target. Hardly the most rational concern, I concede, but if you had seen what I saw...
My friends, I cannot well express how glad I am to see you both unharmed. They say that Omega's clash with the Primal shook the very firmament.
You need not have worried. The battle took place far above the ground. We were able to observe in relative safety, though I'm given to understand that there were casualties on the far side of the wall.
It was like watching a nightmare unfold before our very eyes. Ilberd's Primal manifested in the form of a colossal dragon, a being of pure violence. It burst forth from the cocoon with such terrible force.
That such a horror should spring from the eyes of Nidhogg comes as no surprise. Nor do I wonder at its form. Ilberd all but announced it in the moments prior to his death. Plainly, it was his dying wish to visit a second calamity upon the Empire.
And I am quite certain the abomination would have obliged had it not found itself outmatched by Omega. Gods! I am no stranger to the works of Alag, but even I was unprepared for the machine's furiosity. It beggared belief.
And how fares poor Ida in the midst of all this? Have you spoken with her?
She's up on the platform, lost in thought. We deemed it best not to disturb her, but mayhap she would welcome some company after all. Shall we?
The light's gone. It was all we had left of him.
Ida.
I don't blame anyone. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the spell Papalymo meant to cast would drain away his life force. I knew that it would only buy us a little time.
Ida, there is no need to explain.
But there is. I can't hide in Papalymo's little shadow anymore, and I shouldn't hide behind my sister's mask. 20 years ago, on the day the Empire marched into Alamigo, I was still just a child, not even 5 summers old. My father had been one of the leaders of the revolution. He had fought to overthrow the Mad King, Theodoric. And my sister had fought alongside him. But she was strong and kind, and always knew what to do. But when the Garleans came, everything changed. My father went to war against them too. And I never saw him again. After that, I remember a lot of running. My sister dragged me for malms and malms until we came to the city of Charlian. That was where she met Master Louis. He introduced her to the Circle of Knowing, and she eventually became an Archon.
She was your inspiration. Is that not why you took up her mask and her name? Or did you simply mean to continue what she had started?
You've known all along, haven't you? That I wasn't Ida.
Of course. We all recognized you at once. 'Twas Papalymo who persuaded us to maintain the charade.
It was silly to think I could fool you. I knew that even then, but I sort of decided not to know. Ida died 6 years ago, on a mission to smuggle refugees out of Alamigo. They say she was overwhelmed by Imperial soldiers when she stayed behind to save a little girl. She was so strong. There must have been a lot of them.
Why did you never tell me?
I'm sorry for lying to you. My real name is Lise. When Papalymo brought me Ida's mask, it was meant as a keepsake, but I decided I wanted to be his new partner, to keep alive all the good that she had done. I didn't want to become Ida, exactly. At the time, though, I still didn't know who I was myself, and it almost seemed easier to play the role. Papalymo agreed to help, of course, but it was never what he wanted for me. He wanted me to walk my own path, and those were his final words to me. The Archon's mark he gave me is faded, and my last excuse along with it. So this is it. Whatever I choose to do from now on, I do as Lise. And I choose to continue my family's fight. I want Alamigo to be the country that Ida and my father always wanted it to be.
War is upon us once more.
Do you regret standing against the Empire? Would you have chosen a different road, knowing what you know now?
To claim that I never doubted the decision would be a lie. But I made my choice, and I have defended it with blade in hand ever since.
The battle continues, and our steel is needed. Come, Shadow Walker, we leave for the east, for Doma.
Elfino says, "It was brave of Lise to remove her mask after so long." Though she has scarce begun to come to terms with Papalymo's loss, That one act made plain her determination to move forward. And should she ever falter, we shall be there to support her on this road she is resolved to walk. Let us return to the Rising Stones. We have quite a story to tell, Tataru and my sister. All right. The credits are long. The music is beautiful. So go find it on YouTube and listen to it. Watch it. I am going to escape through it. Well, let's see what they have to say. You should still be abed. Home says, back in the Far East. We treat back pain with a long soak in a hot spring. What say you to a short journey, Isildur? I'm told the waters at Camp Bronze Lake are famous for their healing properties. Isildur says, it might. At last I was able to rise from my sickbed, but pain when I tried to take up my axe. Ugh, what a sad old man I've become. Raoul. Things are heating up in Alamigo, but we can't afford to lose track of the trouble that might be brewing in the rest of the realm. Don't you worry, though. I'll be keeping an ear to the ground, me nose in the air, and one eye on the horizon. He only has one eye. Did you know about Lise? I had no idea. We only met after the calamity, and her sister must already have been, well, you know. Alphinosis. You should have seen the look on Tataru's face when I recounted Lisa's. I'm realizing in retrospect that I should perhaps have waited for you to return. I also told Alice. Apologies. Euphemie. Lady Flamine, I sent her outside to enjoy a quiet cup of tea. Much has happened these past moons, and we all can use a rest every now and then. Excuse me. We're back to squatting. Coultonnet. Though it might be simpler to surrender to despair, I've chosen to resume my studies in the arcane. I received much wisdom from Papalimo, and I would put his advice into practice. Nope, didn't mean to do that. Oker says, a fine showing, brother, but you have yet to outpace Aenor. Should the Archons be called away to Girabania, it must fall to us to deal with the Scion's usual obligations, and thus, we must remain in peak condition. Aenor, I made a fool of myself on our last mission, but I will show him what I'm made of. Come now, Hori. Is that the best you've got? Clemens, my sister has the most curious ideas about courtship. Oh my god. He may have mentioned, but Alfino has apprised me of all that came to pass in Gridania. Your only task now is to rest. This is the calm before the storm. Lise has chosen her path, and as her friends, we must do what we can to support that choice. We are fated to join the conflict in any case. Once the Alliance has taken the wall and opened the way to Girabania, we will have little choice but to fight. Which is not to say the cause is unworthy. After all, ignoring the plight of those whom one might conceivably save is not wisdom but indolence, correct? I, for one, look forward to joining hands with the Alamegans and striking a blow against the tyranny of the Empire, as I rather suspect do you. Yeah. Pippin, quick march! The Imperials will soon come to their senses, and we must be ready to face their retribution. It is almost time, Father. Aye, almost. Stand firm, Pippin. I learned to brace myself against the charge of the Bull of Al Amigo. No foe will dislodge me. Raban says, very well, Ilberd. I will take our homeland back. For the both of us. My Lord Viceroy, our scouts have confirmed the preliminary reports. Baelsar's wall has fallen to the Eorzean alliance. The hunt for Omega and the unknown icon continues, though both yet elude us. My lord, their battle caused considerable damage across the region. Should we perchance divert some of our forces from the search to undertake necessary reconstruction work? Forgive me, my lord. I did not intend. Your will be done. Unknown. My spies tell me the Domans call it Shinryu, and that it proved a match for Omega. Yes, the coming days promise to be most interesting. Most interesting. That little smile. At the far edge of fate, the road begins anew. The heroes look to eastern skies and behold their crimson hue. The dawn of liberation, a gathering storm of blood. Red sky at warnings. Red sky at morning, sailor take warning. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. Elise says, if all proceeds to plan, we should soon be receiving word that Alliance forces have secured Baelsar's wall. Until then, however, we can but ensure we are ready to move the moment we hear the news. Ooh, I got the achievement 5 Minutes of Fate. Wonder what that is. That gives me achievement points. Okay. Mount speed in Imperium has increased. Thank you. Elfino is a man with a great deal on his mind.
The question is, how will the Empire respond to the disappearance of Omega and the Primal? Oh, I didn't see you there. Forgive me. Word from Baelsar's wall is proving long in the coming, and my mind cannot help but stray to grim places.
Alphino, a message from the Alliance.
It's about time. Pray summon the others at once.
Yes, sir.
General Uldin reports that his forces have secured the breach in Baelsar's wall.
And what of the Primal and Omega?
There is still no sign of either at this time. He writes that they will begin a more thorough investigation shortly. And, as expected, he wishes to petition the aid of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
As expected.
The Alliance's decision to capture a part of Baelsar's wall is open to interpretation.
The wall serves to demarcate Imperial territory, Alamigo included, from the rest of Eorzea. To an observer, the Alliance's actions could be seen as a prelude to invasion.
Indeed. And the Alliance leaders have no wish to be branded invaders.
You're saying they won't fight for Alamigo? Even after everything that's happened?
Not without the consent of her people, no. Make no mistake, Lys. The Alliance is in complete agreement that the Empire must be purged from Eorzea. However, they will not set foot in Gyr Abania until they have formally secured the consent and cooperation of the Alamigan opposition.
They would have us act as intermediaries.
Precisely. The Scions are uniquely qualified to serve in this capacity. That is to say, Lys's, given her personal connection to the Resistance. Who better than you to broker an agreement between the Alliance and the people of Alamigo? Assuming you are willing, of course.
Of course I am. You know I'd like nothing more.
As for who should accompany you on said diplomatic mission, I had a mind to volunteer myself.
Well, that covers the talking part. But you just know there'll be trouble along the way. Are you available?
As if you have to ask.
Thanks. It means a lot knowing you'll be there.
I too shall accompany you. Such endeavors are seldom hampered by a surfeit of healers.
Good point. Allow me to offer my services as well. I have spent quite enough time here of late, so I'll be coming, but we will need someone to keep an eye on things. I trust you have no objections?
None, my lady. Gladly shall I continue to serve as caretaker of the Waking Sands, and there keep watch for signs of primal and Ascian activity both.
As capable as my learned friend undoubtedly is, there are some troubles that may prove too much for a single scion, on account of which I mean to stay.
It is settled then. Let us each see to our preparations.
Three's a company. Okay. Tataru. You remember Minago, don't you? The messenger who brought word of the Griffin's attack on Baelsar's wall? Well, she left not long ago, having made a full recovery. If you see her in Gyr Abania, be sure to send my love. Lys says. So, it's finally happening. Don't tell anyone, but I'm feeling a little bit nervous. Only a bit, mind. I'll be fine once we get going. Hopefully. Femi. Even Tataru has her limits. Okay. Well, even Tataru has her limits, and so I've taken it upon myself to assist her in managing communications with various organizations and our members in the field. Ryel and the others are counting on us for our support, after all. Rosetsu, are you ready, Shadow Walker? There can be no turning back once we depart. Yugiri, almost. There is but one thing that remains undone. Cryo? Minfilia would have given anything for a chance to liberate her homeland. Were she still with us, I know she'd be the one leading the way. Alize, there's no going back once we cross this bridge, and the gods only know what awaits us on the other side. Y'shtola, in our absence, Eorzea and Thancred will handle administrative affairs. Continue to coordinate your efforts, your operations with Alian and the others, and report to them directly should you receive word of primal activity. Aye, aye, Captain. You can count on us. Clemens, sister, please, you never know who might be listening. And more importantly, we have our own mission to attend to, and if you're too busy thinking such thoughts, you're liable to get us both killed. Even as bit players, they show such passion, such fervor. Oh, what I wouldn't give to be a bit player too, or better yet, play with their... Ori says, spirits, Coltene, spirits! Even if we are not more than bit players in their tale, we must do our utmost to support the senior scions, and Gav, most of all. Well said, Hori. Every man to his purpose, and we must not tout ours. Coltene, Papalimo's absence will be keenly felt for some time. Would that we had the strength to aid others in his stead.
Ready, my friend? Well then, Tataru, I leave the rising stones in your capable hands.
Don't worry, Alphino. I'll see that the place is still standing when you come back.
Hang on. Just a minute.
Mistress Y'shtola has unfolded all. You are bound for Girabania?
Aye. The Alliance would have us make contact with the Alamegan resistance as soon as possible.
It begins then. As soon it shall in Doma, if the gods are good. 'Tis but a pity it must be now. I am sorry that we shall not be present to fight beside you in the battles to come.
You have stood with us countless times, Lady Yugiri. Pray do not apologize.
Then let us thank you instead. You and yours stood with us from the first, when we came to this land as refugees in search of sanctuary. Loath am I to think what might have become of my people, had you not extended to us the hand of friendship. We will never forget. This I solemnly swear.
Much has changed since first you set foot on these shores. Revenant Told stands as a testament to that. I'm sure your people will manage in your absence.
Indeed. They have built a new home for themselves and no longer need me to shepherd them. The time has come for Kozetsu and I to return to our master, to our home. I know how you feel. It's time I went home too.
Though our battlefields be 1,000 mounds apart, our purpose is one. Let all men hearken to the clarion call of freedom, of liberation, from Eorzea to the far east, that they may rise up and cast down the curse of Garlemald.
Take care, you hear me? When all of this is over, we're going to celebrate, together. Just you wait.
I should like that very much. Fare you well.
Alfino says, 1,000 malms apart, yet united in purpose. Let us pray both our endeavors meet with success. Shall we then? Wait. Not just yet. I knew I'd forgotten something important. Lise, would you come with me? Me? What now? All right then, if you insist. What do you think? As you can see, I designed it to be light and loose, an outfit tailor-made to the needs of a skilled fighter like Lise. Alfino says, your work never ceases to impress. Much more of this, and I may have to stop introducing you as the Scion's receptionist and start referring to you as our preeminent seamstress. It's lovely, Tataru. Thank you. I feel like I could take on a legion. I'm glad you like it, and with that, I'll delay you no longer. Safe travels. Alfino, then onward to Girabania. Our first stop will be at Amarise's Spire in the East Shroud. And we are going to leave it there for tonight, folks. We have done a fair bit of streaming and recording today. Let's do our cat joke for the day. All right. What's a cat's favorite jacket? A purr coat. Purr coat. What's a cat's least favorite jacket? A fleece-lined coat. Fleece-lined coat. Fleece-lined coat. Okay. On those terrible cat jokes, my friends, fellow cats and kittens, I'm going to leave it here for tonight. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know what to do, when to do it. And join us next time, cats and kittens, as we make our way into Stormblood. And start our quest in the next expansion. So, y'all have a great night, cats and kittens. Mama Cat Gamer signing out.